Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. This is the reaction show. So, my reaction to Anthony Yard's latest fight against what is it, Sergei Nikolai, or I don't know, the Fireman, because he's a fireman by trade. Um, I don't understand this Anthony, the way they manage Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard is quite a talent, but how he's managed is like Groundhog Day. It's like Yard fights people that can't test him, that can't improve him, and can't show him where he needs to work things to improve. So he doesn't fight people, he fights people well below him. And then when he's in world title fights, he fights people who are well above him. So there's no middle ground. And he can't bridge the gap between the people that are well below him and then the people that are well above him. You're not bridging the gap because you're not fighting anyone in between. You see? So he always fights guys he's expected to beat, and then when he goes into world title fights, he's always expected to get beat by those guys, and that seems to be a recurring pattern with Anthony Yard. The guy picked up on foot tonight. No word of a lie, I swear that guy was pulled out of the audience. He really looked like a fireman. He looked like a fireman who was doing keep fit, boxercise, who decided to have a go on the night. I swear, because that guy was I'm not being disrespectful. That guy was an embarrassment, considering Yard is a world title challenger, twice round, and is about to go and fight Joshua Boatsi, whose last fight was against Dan Aziz, British Commonwealth and European champion. He fought against. Do you see what I'm coming from here? Like, Yard is not. Yard is. If Boatsy goes into his next fight against Yard, he would have had preparation for that fight. Yard never gets preparation for fights. Like the when he fought Beterbiev, no preparation. Now the fight before that, when he fought Kovalev, no preparation. So like, you tell me how fighting this dude, and this dude, the cab driver, the fireman, and the gardener, how that prepares you to fight, King Kong and Godzilla. I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic or the walking punching bag. I don't get it. That it don't work that way. It doesn't even work that way in life. You can't be like being a pilot, yeah. Do you remember that game they had as a doctor? You had funny, but I think it was where you had to get the bones out of the body, and if you pull the bone at the wrong time, the body would shake or something like that, and it was just like that sort of thing. Or because you can drive bumper cars, suddenly you are now capable of going to Formula One, or because you do bumper cars, suddenly you're capable of driving on the main road. Do you know what I mean? On a motorway because you did bumper cars. Do you get what I'm saying? It's an analogy. What I'm basically saying is you need to get qualified, and Yard does not do qualifications. He doesn't. It's like he's on the job, and he doesn't do anything that qualifies him. Like, Yard should have fought for the British Championship, the Commonwealth Championship, the European Championship. Those are the things Yard should have done. And if you're going to do it the unorthodox way, then at least have some logic to it. There is no logic into the way Yard is being managed. None. And again, he's going to go into a fight with a guy against Boatsi. The thing that I think Yard has got in his favour is that right hand. But Yard is one of these guys that when he's on top, he's great. But when you start to put it on Yard and back him up, he doesn't know what to do because the opposition that he faces does not put him under any sustained pressure. So when he gets into fights against guys who actually have punching power and will push him back, like if you watch the fight against Beterbiev, right? When he was against the ropes, all that shoulder rolling stuff, he was getting punched up in that corner and he could not defend against it. He could not, he had no answer to it. So you tell me, oh, Yard looks great today. He's throwing all these combinations. Against who? The Fireman? Who's going to stand there and let Yard do that stuff? He's bouncing around, bam, and you're throwing the shots, and you've got no consideration for the punches coming back at you. So then, when you actually, and you say, oh, he's doing all this running now, well, fine. When you actually having somebody who can punch your lights out and can knock your teeth out, then when you're throwing them punches, you tire quicker because you're thinking not only about your own defense and the punches coming back at you, is you throwing punches as well. So the exhaustion that Yard will have is faced by the pressure of the guys that he's fighting. That's what happens. So don't tell me he's doing more runs and looks impressive against the Fireman. I mean, he threw them punches there. He looks great. Why doesn't he throw them punches against Beterbiev or against Kovalev? Why doesn't he look spectacular against them guys? Because them rat-a-tat punches that he throws against those kind of opposition does not work against the more better caliber opponents. So to me, there is no progress. There is no progress, not like that, because until you start fighting British, Commonwealth, European fighters, so they might try and shortcut again and try and fight Boatsy, and by fighting Boatsy, go, well, Boatsy's got all the belts. Maybe one night we can become British, Commonwealth, and European champion. Maybe one right hand could do it, but who is Yard knocked out? Who is legitimately world class, not fringe world class, world class? That's the thing. He hasn't. And those are my concerns. So until he's putting fights against guys who are going to back him up, I'm not interested in watching Anthony Yarde. Same old. Fight guys who are not good enough below you and then get in the ring against guys who are going to punch your head off. And you get your head punched off. That's it. Why is Anthony Yarde a superstar? What has he accomplished to be a superstar? Look, I love Anthony Yarde. Good-looking guy, muscles, talks well, good role model. He looks good in the ring. But when you really dig, you dig the surface and start to look inside, it's all show. Not a lot of substance. And I'm not being disrespectful. But if you don't follow, there's certain things there for a purpose and reason in British, Commonwealth, European. It's the reason why you don't want to go across them lines is because nobody can quite picture. You say, are you British champion? Are you British level? Are you European level? Are you world level? If you lose at world level, well, at least you're losing against two of the very best. That's what people will say. But what have you done in those two world title fights? How have you improved? I'm not sure. And both of those guys you talk about now are older guys. They're not young guys. They're not spring chickens. They're old guys. They're old men. Yard should have left Tunde after Kovalev loss. It's too late now, quite possibly. Who do you think should train Yard, and who do you think should be his promoter? It's a good question. Who will train Yard? Because of the way Yard fights, again, I like the Adam Booth style because he's a bit of a sniper, in and out. There's that style. Also, I think, what's this guy's name? Not Virgil Hunter. Derek James would be good for Anthony Yarde and he made a good train. Buddy McGirt's a damn good trainer as well. But yeah, but because of that, no chance, Sugar Hill. But because he's been with Tunde for so long and that style, it's very hard to break those habits he's got, and they're ingrained into Yard. So yeah, but when you talk about bulldoze Yard, who's he bulldozing? And he's gonna go. Could you imagine him going up to cruiserweight and fight Jay Apataya? Could you imagine? Jay Apataya. Imagine Yard versus Jay Apataya. They talk about him moving up to cruiserweight. Really? I that guy will kill Yard. That guy will kill Yard. That guy's not joking. If you looked at that guy, he's not joking. Marius Breedis versus Anthony Yarde. You see the tippy tappy punches, especially when they're throwing, and the left hook's not even clean when he's throwing it. He's missing with that left hook all the time. So I don't know what training they're doing, because he threw the left hook about 4 or 5 times and he missed with it every time. And if you actually notice, when that guy was actually throwing punches back at Yard, he wasn't comfortable with it. He wasn't comfortable with it. He didn't look comfortable with it. But that's just my thinking. But yeah, I've seen the 1-2 trick too many times now. So I'm going to stop watching MVR when he fights nobodies, and just watch him when he fights people of note. So the real fights Anthony Yarde has had in his career so far: Kovalev, Beterbiev, what's this guy? Yelindanov, the first fight. And yeah, that fight just before he fought Kovalev, that American dude. That took about 7 or 9 rounds to get rid of. Yeah, those fights. Other than that, he ain't fought nobody. Any guy that's given resistance. That's about 4 guys who've given Yarde resistance. 3 of those guys, 2 of those guys have stopped him, and 1 of those guys have beaten him points. So, is Yarde a bully boy? Like, when he gets too heavy on him, he fades? I don't know. Is that style a style that's going to win a world title? That's the next question. So, all right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, smash the like button, people. Smash the like button. Appreciate you all. Take care.